Ladies and gentlemen, a new snapshot for Minecraft Java Edition 1.17, the Caves and Cliffs update is out. For several days actually already. My apologies for this video being a little bit late. My main gameplay update videos turned out so long and required so much work that this got delayed by several days. But it is time, here it is. We're going to take a look at all the technical changes in Snapshot 21w13a. Among them, some data for the new goats, a whole bunch of tag fixes, and of course, as per usual, lots of world generation custom format changes. It also has the new light blocks, we'll talk a little bit about them, and also changes to what code is included in the jar file that will have some impact on mod frameworks and modding, and we'll discuss that later too. My name is Slime, let's dive right into it, starting with some changes to commands. If you use /setblock to place a structure block, the default mode of that block now matches the one when placing the block by hand. Let's move on to data and talk about the new goat. There's one custom field in this entity that might be of interest. It is IsScreamingGoat. A boolean flag, and when this is set to 1, then the goat will be using all the screaming sounds instead of the normal sounds. There's also the new light block, it's Minecraft:light, and it has two block state properties. One is waterlogged, works as any other waterlogged block. The other is level, and it determines how light the block is, and has a value between 0 and 15. That means that technically you can actually create a light block that does not emit light, if you have any use for that. Note that the light block is one item in the player's inventory regardless of which level it is. You'll have to use a block state tag to specify the level if you want to use something like a /give or replace item to place a light block in an inventory. Let's talk about tags. The copper slabs and stairs have now been included in the slabs and stairs tags. There's a new block tag called dirt. It contains all of the dirt-derived blocks, such as dirt, coarse dirt, podzol, and also now includes the rooted dirt block. The dirt tag is now also referenced from bamboo plantable on and enderman holdable instead of direct references to those blocks. There's another new block tag, it is called snow, and it contains the snow blocks, powder snow blocks, and snow layers. The flowers tag now contains azalea leaves, flowers, and flowering azalea by default. An entity tag has been removed, it is axolotl tempted hostiles. That has been replaced by a new entity tag called axolotl hunt targets. There are also two new entity tags related to powder snow. They are freeze hurts extra types and freeze immune entity types. Also, the item tag freeze immune wearables now by default contains leather horse armor. Particle news. In this version there is one new particle, it is called simply light. It is the particle used when you hold the new light blocks. News regarding resource packs. Of course, the goats have been added with all of their textures, but also a huge number of block models have been changed to fix mirroring issues. I spoke about these in the visual section of my main update video. But this means that texture mapping has changed, so if you have overrides you might want to double check those. In addition to this, a bunch of unused textures have been removed. This includes things like the ruby texture and the footstep particle texture. A piece of news about the code itself, interesting for maybe mod frameworks and mod authors. Dead code stripping has been turned off. That means that while not actively used, some debug tools and constant names are now exposed to mod frameworks. There's already quite a bit of activity to identify all this new functionality going on in all of the different mod framework communities. So keep an eye on the modding discords if you are interested in what is now possible with this. And finally, we are going to talk about custom world definitions, because a number of things have changed in this version. Let's begin with a new creature spawn type. It is underground water creature. That's been added to all the biomes, and all the overworld biomes have glow squids and axolotls in there. There are 4 new vanilla configured features in this version, and they're all added to all the overworld biomes. They are rare dripstone cluster, rare small dripstone, or deep slate, and or diamond large. Change in format for float providers. Uniform floats are now specified as min-inclusive and max-exclusive instead of a base and a spread value, to convert data from what you had before to what you need now, specify min inclusive as the thing you had as base, and max exclusive as the sum of base and spread. Uniform integers have been changed as well. They've gone through a similar transform that uniform floats went through in a previous snapshot. Uniform int fields are now int providers, or in some cases height providers. This means that they have a type that can be constant, uniform, biased to bottom, or trapezoid. Constants can also be specified inline, just like for floats. Uniform ints are now also specified with min and max bounds, but for integers, they are min inclusive and max inclusive. Like I mentioned, there are now height providers that work like float or int providers, but the input fields to a height provider are vertical anchors instead of just numbers. These are used in some places where height ranges are specified as random distributions. Bunch of changes to carvers as well. The canyon carver field's horizontal radius factor, vertical radius default factor, vertical radius center factor, thickness, and with smoothness have all been moved out into a new subobject called shape. Bottom inclusive and top inclusive have been removed. Instead, there is now a Y field. That field is one of the new height providers. There's a new field as well, it's called lava level. In addition, some of these fields are now also available for cave carvers, not just canyon carvers. These fields are Y, Y scale, and lava level. And in addition to this, cave carvers have a bunch of new fields. All of these are float providers. Floor level, which provides a value between -1 and 1, a fraction of the cave where the cave is cut off with a kind of flat floor, so that the carver is flat on the bottom but round otherwise. There's also horizontal radius multiplier and a vertical radius multiplier. And finally, for a noise settings change, the end noise settings height has been changed from 128 to 256, which is what causes all of the problems with the end that we've seen in this snapshot. Now those were all the changes for this version. I hope you found this informative, and if you did, please help me out in return. Interact with the video as much as possible by leaving a like, dropping a comment, or sharing it to a friend. If you're interested in either gameplay or technical changes through new snapshots for Minecraft Java Edition, then please subscribe to the channel. I make update videos for both types of changes, for every snapshot, pre-release, release candidate, and of course full release. If you do subscribe, please don't forget to hit the bell icon so YouTube might, if you are lucky, tell you that the videos are out when they're out. But that's all for this time. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Slime, and I'll see you next time.